Today we will talk about the price of Bitcoin, XRP and Solana. Ladies and gentlemen, are we in for a bigger Bitcoin rally towards $86,000 in the coming days? And will there be a correction in the Bitcoin price afterwards? Or will this Bitcoin price correction start as early as next week? Let's start with the Bitcoin price, and then we'll talk about new trades and discuss a few events that will affect the Bitcoin price. In recent videos, we discussed that we had a flag formation here. As you can see, the Bitcoin price reached the first target, then it started moving sideways. And in the last few days, we have seen growth. This growth is connected to the fact that in America, they want to change the rules a bit regarding the US national debt, which is why there was a strong rise. Now, the most important question is, will the Bitcoin price continue to go up? That is to somewhere around $86,000, $90,000, or will we see a correction first? Let's probably switch straight to the weekly charts because we need them more right now than the daily charts. I mean, more than the daily candles. As you can see, remember we discussed this blue line with you in previous videos. So we said that the bull market could start either at the end of July, beginning of August, or if there were a larger correction, it would be October or December. This still plays a role. I mean, I will explain to you now why this still plays a role. So in principle, we have had a bull market. The whole question is how long it will last, this bull market. That's why I said you see the blue line and the red one here. These are the most important indicators that tell us where Bitcoin will go next. So it has finally approached its resistance lines right now. As we previously discussed, that resistance zone starts right here at 68,000 and it extends all the way up to somewhere around $78,000. So there's a resistance line. What does this mean? This means that a correction could occur from this point. If you turn on another indicator, this one right here, you see it tells us here $82,000. 82,800 is the next resistance line. But I would focus on these red lines for now. That is, after such a big rise, of course, there is a possibility of a correction. If the market suddenly starts to turn around, it is basically already approaching the point from which it could reverse. That is, it could go down again, and this purple line will play a role here. So the purple line is the upward trend line. The blue line was the downward trend line. Now look at how the purple lines work. See, right here in 2022, we don't need this indicator anymore. In 2022, we started, or rather, it's better to say in 2023, on January 1st, the bull market began. See, here are the purple lines. You also see the blue lines here. Now pay attention to how this works. The price goes down from the blue line, then it breaks through it, and the growth begins. Look at how it was, for example, here. There was a flag here too. The price goes down, then it has a sideways movement, then it breaks through the blue line, and the growth begins. And these red lines are also very important here. You see, this is also an indicator. Look at how it was. The price rises quickly, then it has a sideways movement here, but our problem right now is that the price has already risen to this point. That is, this suggests that even a slight correction might occur, and then the price consolidates within these red lines. That's roughly how the indicator works. Then the price breaks through them, and then it continues, the bull market continues further. Now let's return to this information. So in principle, we had a spontaneous rise because they are changing the rules a bit in America regarding the American debt. That is the repayments of this debt. So that's why a rapid growth occurred. So globally, if you look at it, the situation with the American market hasn't changed for us. Remember, I told you that Wednesday would be volatile because NVIDIA data is coming out. This will still play a role on Wednesday. You see, the American market is at its peak. It has also been growing since 2023. Right here where the red flag is, you see it was going up. It was going up the whole time. There was only one small correction, then it continued to grow. What does this tell us? This tells us that if the American market starts to fall further now, it could drag Bitcoin back down with it. And the whole question will be how much the American market will fall after the quarterly reports, because the quarterly reports of American companies will end soon. Therefore, if it suddenly continues to fall for several weeks in a row, it may turn out that the Bitcoin price will simply go down along with the American market. Right, now let's go back to Bitcoin. So this growth happened wonderfully. Good. A new bull market might begin, but after such large candles, red candles inevitably occur as well. Therefore, if you are not in a position, it is a bit dangerous to buy, let's say, a long position right now. As for other coins, we have discussed other coins many times. They were at their historical bottom. So they had already fallen significantly by 95, 99%, and they have grown. Even if they drop, they will still be at their bottom. So for example, I didn't manage to open a long position, but I will open one if, let's say, a correction occurs. Here we need to turn on the daily indicator again, the daily candles, in case a correction happens again. So right here, by the way, a large W formation could also form. Right here will be the breakout line to the upside, which is somewhere around $82,000. And the target is somewhere around $100,000. If a correction happens from here or a correction happens from here, it might be possible to try opening a long position right here. So right now it's a bit dangerous for a long position. It's a bit risky to open a new long position right now, but it might be possible to try opening one here. If we suddenly have a breakout of this purple line, then we will head back towards $55,000. So this could be a short-term growth that we are experiencing. But the positive thing is that the price is already breaking through this blue line, meaning this old trend that we've had since since October, is coming to an end. So that is already positive. Therefore, I repeat once again, it is a bit dangerous to open a new long position right now. It could turn out that the price will just go down again after this strong movement. That's when it might be possible to try opening a long position right here. If, of course, it manages to break through that level, then try opening a new long position here in the hope that it will reverse. Look at what is happening with the XRP price. We recently discussed a triangle formation here. The price dropped, moved sideways, and now XRP has risen quite significantly. Look at where it stopped, where the indicator is. This is the daily perspective, $1.34. So we discussed this resistance zone with you in the last video. As for XRP, what else can you see? We don't need the green lines for now. We will need them if a correction happens again. These are Bitcoin support zones. So if Bitcoin drops back to $60,000, XRP will be right here. Or let's say Bitcoin drops to $45,000, then XRP will be at 55 cents. For now, the price is rising and everything is great, but please be very careful. After such large candles, red ones inevitably follow. Now look, what's important? See, red lines have appeared. This is also an indicator. These are also resistance lines. They tell us that right here, there is a resistance line at $1.20 and $1.57. What does a resistance line tell us? A resistance line indicates that there is a fairly significant probability that the price might drop again from this resistance line, but that will depend on Bitcoin. Also, you can see, remember that this blue line played a big role, meaning from this blue line, the price went down. It had been dropping since July, then it broke through it. And remember, we discussed what is happening with XRP. This is in principle very positive because the trend is being broken. As you can see, growth occurred after 4 weeks, after 5. But the growth happened because Bitcoin, of course, went up strongly and XRP also went up along with it. So everything went up. I repeat once again, if Bitcoin suddenly turns around at its red lines, which I showed you because these are the main resistance lines, if it goes down, then XRP will also have a downward movement. Don't forget, next week will be volatile on Wednesday because the latest quarterly reports from American companies are coming out. Look at what is happening with the Solana exchange rate. Here we can also stay in principle on a weekly perspective, although let's switch it perhaps to a daily perspective. You see, at the moment, the rate has stopped for now at the yellow line. This yellow line tells us that a resistance line passes here, but we need a weekly perspective. You see what is happening on the weekly perspective. There are also red lines running through. This is also an indicator that tells us that resistance lines should be here, and they start at approximately $112 and go down to somewhere around $83. That is what is important to understand. Here you can also see this purple line. This is a new potential upward trend. That is, even if Bitcoin goes down, drops to approximately, let's say, $67,000, and Bitcoin starts to rise again from its purple line, then Solana will also have an upward trend again. So the purple line is an upward trend. You see, that's how the purple lines work. See the trend lines, the price goes up and down every time. Up. On the contrary, it went down, went up, went down, went up, went down to the purple line, went up, went down, went up, and so on. See, then the trend changes. So this is a downward trend, and the purple line is an upward trend. Or here, for example, where else there is one, there was a blue line here, but it's better seen on a daily perspective more accurately. That's why be a little careful right now in the coming days. Growth has occurred, and it's good that Bitcoin's trend is changing. But if it suddenly starts to turn around again from these red lines, then you will need to orient yourself by the purple line that I showed you. I wish you a good evening. Don't forget to like this video.